I want you to take a look at this drone footage.
Just play it.
Okay. And what do you notice about these buildings? This, by the way, is Guangzhou. I don't know if you know Canton, the capital of Guangdong.
Look at that. Pollution in the sky. Beautiful. Sky don't lie.
Sky don't lie, yes. You could see the Canton Tower in the background up there if you look closely enough through the haze. What do you notice about these buildings? And then what do you notice about this next set of buildings, which I'm going to show you? This is in Shenzhen, which, of course, is another first-tier city. Look, fancy building, fancy building. That's like the office part of it, but then it goes into residential above, right? So, bam, residential. What do you notice about these buildings?
Look at the windows, guys.
Yeah.
Look at the windows.
What do you notice, guys? I'm sure you're noticing something right now.
Look at those windows.
Anyone
Just
getting it
pure.
in the comments there?
Decrepit buildings.
I mean-
Caged. Bars.
Yes. I mean, come on. What are you saying, decrepit? This is wonderful architecture. This is the peak of,
It's actually
Chinese
the best.
architecture. No, I mean...
No, I mean, like, really, it's in the center of the best city.
This is Shenzhen, okay? Top of the pops.
Yeah, we're talking about the bars on the windows, guys.
Yes. Why do you think you need bars 30 stories up, by the way?
Why? Just
Yes.
take a wild... Because look at this.
This is in another city very far away.
Yeah, but look at the bars.
Yeah. Take
There's
a look.
bars all over. Not one is missing them.
Yeah.
Every single house
Every
here
balcony, every window.
has bars.
Yeah. Now, if you go downtown Shanghai, where all the shiny skyscrapers are, of course, there are no bars on them, okay?
But 90% of buildings in China have
Yeah,
them.
if you go around China, you'll see bars on windows. And the reason is, of course, theft,
Yes.
okay? Theft is a big issue in China. And it happens to people all over the place. And, they'll climb up. That's why also it's all the way at the top. They'll climb up the side of the building. They'll scale the side of the building to get in there.
Yes.
You're wondering why the 32nd floor has it, because they'll climb that high,
What about
dude.
the 22nd floor?
Yeah.
Definitely
Yes.
Chongqing's got
Oh,
bars.
yeah, for sure.
They got bars.
Yes, or they go up to the roof and they'll climb down.
Yeah.
One of the two. But they'll Spider-Man into your apartment. They're very skilled at this. A friend of mine lost a huge amount of cash he had stored in his house because of that. Here's some on the ground, on the street view. You can see the bars up on the windows. The
I
bars
always forget
at the
how
gates.
ugly most of China is, but it's a fun place. Fun
Yeah, here you can see from the inside looking out.
The person taking the video is in the bars.
Yes.
Behind bars.
Okay. I mean, take a look. You got bars in the windows. It's very normal. And they're there because crime is a huge issue. People will steal your stuff. Theft is,
It's outlandish.
it is insane. Theft is a big issue in China.
Yes.
Okay, and the reason why
What are you getting at here?
I'm showing you all of this stuff is one of our favorite propagandists, old Flat Cat McDonald's, recently posted something rather outrageous.
Okay.
Things that only happen in China. I'm just walking in a kind of dark street. There is now one here. And look, a motorbike with a bag right there. But it's not the only one. Look at this. What?
How can someone leave his stuff just like that?
Someone left a bag with a dirty jacket in it, and she thinks it's... Anyway, that's not the end of
It's
it.
a
Hang on.
setup.
Of course it
Wait,
is. Take a
That's
look.
Black
Is
Cap
that a
himself.
luggage?
No, dude.
sorry.
She's way too thin. Take a look at the things. Oh, a luggage? By the way, that's how people dump things
Yeah,
in
they get rid
China.
of stuff by
They
doing
put stuff in a
that.
bag and
They
leave.
don't want
It's like gross, rotten stuff over there. Okay, but that's...
No one is around. Oh my god.
People, can I read this?
Please read this. Please read this.
I mean, because this is, and I hope we can capture how crazy this is.
Yes.
Because we lived in China, and anybody that lived in China will literally die of scoff. If you could
Yes.
die of scoff,
Yes.
you'll die. People leave their bags outside and no one takes them in China. Those that show videos of crimes in China are harping on the statistical outliers of Chinese society. They hate China for clicks. Don't buy the hype. I'm sorry. You are regarded if you believe that. And you don't believe that.
You want to talk about statistical outliers? The fact that somebody didn't steal a bag that's got a dirty jacket in it that was left on an e-bike for 5 minutes.
That was a setup.
Which is, yeah.
Very
Set up or not, it's absurd to think for 1 minute that it's okay to leave your bag on your bike.
China is the last place, perhaps, you would want to go if you're going to leave your stuff out in the open.
Yes.
America in some of the worst areas is 10 times better to leave your shit out than China.
Because look, even China's staunchest defenders who are like, you can walk around at night, no one's going to attack you. They're not going to say you can walk around at night and leave your phone on the
You can leave your
sidewalk.
door unlocked in your apartment and not have bars on your freaking windows. You know, twice my wife had to literally almost kill a person because they were scaling our building.
Yes.
Right? She didn't try to kill her. She got,
Yeah,
get out of here.
throwing
She's
pot
trying to
plants.
climb in our window.
Yeah.
When I wasn't there. And then another time when I was there, I was running and the guy saw me and he ran off.
I've had bicycles stolen a lot.
Motorcycle stolen?
Yep. You know,
2 phones, 3 phones.
I literally chained my motorcycle. I went to go have lunch with my girlfriend. I just bought her a nice bike and I had a bike, okay? Chained our bikes to like one of those fences, kind of like what you saw knocked over by the dog in a car, one of those fences. Double chained them. We went into the restaurant. We were having a meal. I looked outside. They were gone.
Yeah.
They were just gone.
Dude, how many of our friends lost their motorcycles?
Yes.
How many had their apartments broken in? I had a student that
Pickpocketed?
lived in a rich... I've been pickpocketed multiple times. I've been pickpocketed at knife point. I had a friend, or a student, that their apartment in a very rich area, by the way, not in one of these bad areas, in a rich area of a nice city, had his apartment broken into and his dog stolen for dog meat. They stole his pet dog.
Yeah.
And nobody thought that was weird, by the way.
I was living in the first tier city of Shenzhen. A guy drove in, went through the boom gates because you have to get a ticket to go in, drove his little van down into the parking lot, loaded up all the e-bikes and bicycles, cut the locks, everything, and drove out with it.
Yes.
And it was all on the security camera.
Let's prove it. Because, you know what, this is outlandish.
Yes.
This is so crazy.
Exactly.
To me. There are no statistics because China doesn't keep statistics.
Yes.
For crime.
王爷，这个不能办，这个是人家盲人。
Okay. She goes up and she's like, Auntie, don't steal these little bits of metal. They're for the blind people when they walk so they know where they're going. You know what she's doing? She's actually stealing the sidewalk. I mean, you know, I was going to say if it's not nailed down, it'll get stolen. But now, if it's nailed down, it will just be pried off and stolen in China.
She's stealing the sidewalk.
She's stealing the sidewalk.
Yes.
And so that she can go and recycle those bits of metal and get like 10 cents for the load. You know what I mean? Like a look at that.
一般的这个要犯法的，晓得不？真的不能办，你遭逮到了要遭了。
Okay.
If theft is not a problem, Mr. Flatcap, and
you could just leave your bags
you
out.
can just do whatever you want. It's totally fine, right? Then why are anti-theft posters all over the country? We went through areas that said, this is bandit country. There's propaganda posters. This is bandit country. Your car will be stolen.
Yes.
Lock your car. They had people selling tasers and batons because of the bandits in the area, right? This was not a long time ago. When you go to areas, it says, be very careful. There are lots of pickpockets. There are lots of thieves. This poster says, basement theft protection. Try not to store valuables such as cigarettes and alcohol in your basement. It's recommended to reinforce doors and windows, install monitoring or alarm devices, and check them regularly. If any abnormalities are found, call the police immediately. You don't do this if it's not an issue.
Why do you think every week we show you a video feed of someone's living room?
Yes.
Why do you think we do that?
Why do you think they do that so they can watch it back later? They do it because thieves.
Yes, because people break in.
China is wildly bad for thieves.
Yes.
Number 2, prevent pick-off car doors.
These have been translated.
Yes. Lock the car when leaving it and check the doors and trunk to make sure no large amount of cash or valuables is left in the car. It's recommended that you install security equipment in the car. If you discover a theft, protect the scene and call the police immediately. Oh, but you can just leave your stuff everywhere, I thought.
Yeah.
Don't lock it up.
Install anti-theft doors and windows on your shop. Be sure to close doors and windows when you go out. Lock the anti-theft door and install a large padlock. To take your valuables such as cash and laptops home, it is recommended to install monitoring.
But I thought you could just leave everything out. No one will take it.
These are the things that you see quite literally on the wall outside, you know, as you're walking around the city.
All over China.
Yes, prevent theft.
It's a big problem.
Yes.
Especially around New Year's.
Oh, big time. Just before Chinese New Year, it's all going to go.
Keep going. You can get these posters anywhere. There's online scams or real life theft. It's a big issue. In fact, look at this. This is in Xi'an, so a big tourist area, right? Beware pickpockets. Please keep your value. This is acknowledging pickpockets. I mean, this is a problem you have in like usually third world countries.
Oh,
right?
it's like Oliver Twist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
And he's like stealing a pocket watch
Yeah.
or something,
Yes,
But like
yes.
actually in China, pickpocketing is a huge issue. I've personally stopped about, I think it's 3 pickpockets.
I've been pickpocketed.
Yeah, I've been pickpocketed once. Something got stolen out of my bag. I had an electronic dictionary because I was learning Chinese and it got nabbed. That was very disappointing. It was very expensive. But quite seriously, walking down the road, see somebody with tweezers in a woman's pocket pulling out a phone. I shouted at
tweezers
them.
very, very
Yeah.
common. That's
Dude,
the most common.
It's super common, okay? Stuff hasn't gone away.
No. In fact, I wanted to prove modern examples.
Yeah.
Right? Because we can show you our experience. We lived there over a decade, right?
Yeah.
But let's show you modern examples.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. Flat Cap McDonald's is using one random foreigner who walked around
like a
fresh
setup.
off the boat.
Seems like a
Fresh off the
setup.
boat. It's like, oh, in China, people leave a bag on an e-bike. That means it's safe. Only in China.
It seems like a setup. I'll tell you why. I found a TikTok propaganda campaign years ago on my
Yeah.
video series. Exactly the same video format. A guy walking around Beijing. Well, here, I know in America you can't leave your stuff out, but here in Beijing, we can leave our stuff on the e-bike. It was exactly the same type
interesting.
of video. I should have put it in here.
Okay.
It's on my channel.
Let's take a look then. Here's another foreigner.
Fortunately, I don't have any more footage. That is because my phone, which I was recording the vlog on, was stolen. This happened in Xi'an the evening after I'd just been to see the Terracotta Warriors. But then once I'd finished eating, I noticed that my phone and charger had both disappeared.
Yeah, so he was explaining, he sat down at a restaurant, he put his phone and charger right next to him, and then he put his backpack next to him as well. And while he was eating, someone reached over, and because they saw the surveillance after, and stole it and ran off.
I want to use modern examples, though.
That is a modern example.
No. Modern. Months
Okay.
ago.
Okay,
That was a couple years ago.
Sure.
Let's go months ago.
that
okay?
dude's video wasn't a few years ago.
Okay, I have the.
Okay,
the
you got a link.
here.
Okay, either way, here we go. Yeah,
If you have a look here, this is 2024 07/24. Okay, this is not just security cam footage. This was a news report in a major city in China to show how good people are at stealing people's e-bikes.
and this is another thing that's a little bit interesting, isn't it? The propagandists like Flat Cap McDonald's try to pretend like theft isn't a problem, but state media doesn't.
This is state media.
Yeah.
It took him less than 10 seconds
Yeah,
to
to-
steal this e-bike.
Yeah.
And the thing is, pause it. They went around and asked people. There were hundreds of people that were like, "Yeah, I keep getting my e-bike stolen. Yeah, my people broke in." They're like, "How do we prevent this big rash of theft?"
Here's the thing: Chinese people don't try to pretend theft isn't a problem. There's a big disconnect
No.
here.
Yes.
Because Chinese people, doesn't matter if they love China, like they think Xi Jinping is God and they love the CCP and they lick any CCP poster they see, those people will still say that theft is a problem.
Yes.
Those people will
Oh,
still
yeah.
admit that crime, as far as their stuff getting stolen, is a huge issue and you can't just leave stuff lying around.
No, that's such a
So,
fantasy.
so all Chinese people acknowledge that theft is an issue.
Yes.
But these stupid foreign
American
white
shills.
people shilling for the Chinese government try to pretend that it's not real.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
It's insane.
It's absolutely insane.
Well, it's because that's their job.
Yeah,
their
but I
job
mean-
is to lie on behalf of the CCP.
Yeah, they're basically saying Chinese people's opinions don't matter, only ours do.
Correct. Only I get to make decisions.
Yeah,
And you
I
know
get
what?
to do
Turns
it.
out those people are always the most racist people to Chinese
Correct.
people. They treat them like garbage.
Oh, yeah,
they
absolutely.
talk down to them. They don't learn the language.
Yep.
You know, it's that type.
Absolutely. Anyway.
This one is hilarious. This
Okay.
guy.
Yeah.
This is a few months ago.
Yeah.
You can just play it. This guy had his helmet stolen, so I just wanted to point out, he left it on his motorcycle.
Yeah.
You can't just leave stuff out in Beijing, in a main city where there's no crime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
And this guy stole his helmet and said, "Oh, I saw
he
your helmet
confronted
there."
him, yeah.
Yeah, he goes, "Oh, I just didn't want anything bad to happen."
Oh, I didn't want it to
Trying
get
take
damaged,
care
so
of
yeah,
it.
it's like, yeah, whatever.
This is a great example. This
Hangzhou, huh?
is, by the way, yeah, this is this year. This
This
is this year. Hangzhou, one of the wealthiest, most developed cities in China, almost in the center of the city, by the
Yes.
way. Look at this.
Now you know why they put bars all the way up there.
So, Flat Cap, are these the outliers of society? Because I just showed you a main state media broadcast
Yes.
where they interviewed countless people about getting their stuff stolen.
Yes.
Video evidence of people getting their stuff stolen, scaling buildings, climbing in and robbing people.
Yeah.
And every Chinese person I've ever talked to knows that theft is a huge problem in China. So please put it away and stop lying, it's gonna catch up with you someday.
Exactly.
It will.
Yeah. Stop lying about very demonstrably disprovable facts.
At least
You know?
pick something you can't prove.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
You know?
So here's another dude. Dude pulls up. Oh, this is such a good clip. Can we just play it? Dude pulls up. He's stealing a basket of fruit or whatever, okay? Puts it on his e-bike. He's like, yeah, I'm out of here. I don't know if it's... Okay. Oh, no. Slippery road, so dropped it all. Oh, no, what's going on? Oh, no, helmet falls off. Oh, man, what's going on? Yeah, all right. Gonna get my helmet. Bike falls down. I think he's just like, okay, I'm out of here. This is just too much. I'm getting out of here. Car pulls up.
This is my favorite video.
Dude, okay, I gotta play that
can we
again.
see that one more time? Just one more time.
It's like a comedy of errors. Okay.
He did everything wrong.
Yeah,
this thief.
exactly. So let's see. Steal.
Okay. Oops. Oh, whoop.
Spill.
Okay, better pick it up. But I got
Dropped your helmet because you didn't. They never tie the strap.
No. He goes, I grab my helmet. Drops bike.
Bike falls down. He probably dropped
crap.
whatever else he was carrying. He's like, okay,
He's like, I just gotta
go. Oh, dude, I kind of love that. Isn't that
That's
just
a wet
great?
bandit, dude.
Yeah,
It's a wet bandit.
Yes. By the way, speaking of leaving things on e-bikes, here we have a delivery driver. And these guys have a hard job. I think everybody knows. They're basically heroes in China. Okay? This guy's gonna go make his delivery. He's rushing around the city. He's got a tough job. So off he goes to make his delivery. Tired as all hell, been working all day. Some parent in the background tells their kid, go, now, do it. Runs off. Steals the food that he's about to deliver to his next customer and runs off.
Should have at least shut it.
Yeah.
Oh, shut the thing.
Yeah, exactly. But okay, you think you can leave a bag on an e-bike?
Yeah, right.
Come on.
That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. That's the weakest propaganda. But
That's
it works because it goes
stupid.
around to like hundreds of thousands of people. Big accounts tweet it out.
People see this, they tweet it out, and they're like, China's safe and
America
nobody
bad.
gets stuff stolen.
Yeah.
Lies. Absolute, provable lies.
Yeah. They're
It's
so
like, oh,
bad.
you're sweaty and hot from
Yeah, it's like
delivering cheap food,
so
and you
bad.
come on in, you know.
Let's just say no one's jostling one loose when they watch these. You know what I mean? You have to have ASMR. You have to have fixing. You have to have organizing. You have to have a pretty woman. What was it? Just stand in the absolute smog and dance it out. Oh, and then she goes, oh, come here, you know. You want to drink some water?
It's pretty accurate.
I'm here on the side of the road, puking in front of my shoe.
Yeah.
Taxi comes and hits me. I got the puking blues.